7th time the Lexus Andrew Ramsden over 2,800 metres at listed level holds a place in the 2025 Lexus Melbourne Cup for the winner of the May staying feature that was first run in 1964 as the Duke of Norfolk Stakes. Horse 1 is Smoke and Romans. The last winner of this race to come via a Warrnambool Cup was Niwot, who was second in the Southwest feature in 2011. Smoke and Romans won that race. He also ran 7th in a Melbourne Cup in 2022.
Well, track's not going to worry him. He's in great form, Nigel. I hope one would assume they'll go forward even from that sort of slightly wider draw, but he doesn't need to improve on his recent form. His rating under the conditions of the race means he's pretty well in, and he'll be tough to beat.
It's the most relaxed I've ever seen him today, this horse. Usually he has a bit of a sweat, but there's no signs of that today. You know that he's incredibly fit. He's very deep into a preparation. You know he's going to try very hard.
7th in the Warrnambool Cup to Military Mission. Ran top 10 in the 2023 Melbourne Cup.
That it did, and third run of the preparation, so shouldn't be too far away. The worry is it's been a while since he's managed to win a race, but look, he's got a bit to find against some rivals. He may well do that, but you know the conditions are pretty similar to what he struck last time.
Carries a little bit more condition for what one of the Waterhouse spot horses usually do. That's obviously just his physique, this fellow. He's striding out nicely. He has got good tone there, but there's probably others that I prefer in a very open race. 3,
Athabaskan, almost qualified for the 2023 Melbourne Cup via a second placing in the Lexus Archer behind Carlapore. We saw Realm of Flowers come via a Sydney Cup as a lead-in to win this race 4 years ago.
Well, he knows good enough. He brings his best form. He could certainly win the race. The wet track will help his chances. He's just going to need to find the right spot. He'll hope the speed's on, but no doubt he's good enough.
He's just a classic looking thoroughbred, this horse. He just has got stayer written all over him. He's got a good bit of quality about him. He's lovely and scopy. His coat's in magnificent order. He's moving really well. So he looks like he's here to run exceptionally well today.
4 True Marvel, 8th in the 2023 Ramsden before running 8th on the first Tuesday in November, was 5th in the Warrnambool Cup.
Yeah, quite a nice run in the Warrnambool Cup from a fair way back as well. So there was some merit to the run. Once again, it's been a while since he's won one, but you know, if he could bring something like his best, and his last one just hinted he might have another one in him. Perhaps he could be competitive today.
His coat's absolutely magnificent, this horse. He obviously hasn't won for a very long time, but he can mix his form at times. He can be a little bit hard to catch, but he's presented very, very well.
Alana Kelly won this race on Point Nepean in 2022. She rides the 5 Virtuous Circle.
Third run of the preparation, just needs to lift on those 2 runs back so far. Once again, plenty to find on that Warrnambool Cup run.
He's definitely fit enough, this horse. I have probably seen him move a little bit more fluently previously, though. That would be my knock on him today, but the team's got him here very, very fit if he can bounce back to a bit of his peak form.
6, 7 and 8 are all scratchings. The 9 Strawberry Rock was 8th last year. Was 2nd in the Roy Higgins, 3rd in the Mornington Cup leading in. This year, a 2nd in the Mornington Cup and a 6th at Warrnambool is the lead-up form.
Pleasing enough run. I just preferred others through the same form references. Seemed to have his opportunity there last start. Soft ground won't be an issue. Hasn't tried sort of more testing conditions, but maybe one for a minor spot.
Yeah, he's okay. There's nothing to knock about the way that he's been turned out at all. It's a very even sort of a race, this, and he presents very similar to how I've seen him all prep.
Craig Newitt with 2 previous victories in this race. He's on the 10 Loft, who does have hurdle targets to come through the winter, but why not bring him back based on how well he's been going?
Well, he's going really well, Nigel. And the other thing, you know, it's pretty testing conditions out there. He just needs some speed in the race, and if he gets that, you know, I know he's a little slower than the others on the flat, but you know, this will even the ball game a little bit in terms of what the weather is, you know, has dealt us today. So all of a sudden, not the worst.
Well, one thing that he's got out of his recent hurdle starts is confidence. He's been enjoying his work, he's been doing it really well, and he's in winning form. So you can never underestimate how that can turn a horse's flat form around. He does look very, very well. He's striding out beautifully here.
11 through Irish Eyes off a Warrnambool maiden hurdle victory. Contests the Ramsden for the 3rd time. 5th in 2021 as a 3-year-old off winning a St Ledger. He was 3rd in this race 3 years ago.
Once again, Nigel, you know, in-horse in form. He's very dour, but these conditions will help. The other advantage with him is he can go forward, so he might want to make it a test, and he might be best placed to do that.
Yeah, very similar to Loft in front of him. He's in nice winning form, he's full of confidence and he's very fit.
12 Berkshire Breeze has gone close to qualifying for the Melbourne Cup in the past 12 months via a third in the Archer, a fourth in a Bart Cummings, and recently a second at Deakin in the Roy Higgins.
Yeah, it's racing well. He's certainly a leading chance in the race. It's a bit of a tricky draw, but you've got Ethan Brown on your side.
Yeah, he's going to have to give him a very good steer, isn't he, Brownie? I would have thought that he wouldn't like that draw one little bit. The horse looks fantastic here. He's at the peak of his game.
The Freedmans, with good recent success through the deeds of Steel Prince and Realm of Flowers, have the 13, Glentanius.
Yeah, and horse that, look, needs to improve quite substantially on what we've seen so far this prep night, so just couldn't be with him. What price are you going at? 70s? That looks fair.
1 from 1 for the track and distance, so you couldn't underestimate that. His best is definitely good enough. It's whether or not he is going up to that mark. He looks fantastic.
14 Denmark has the services of a Melbourne Cup winning jockey and Jai McNeil and trainer Chris Waller.
Yeah, it was a wet track. Wasn't easy to do what Denmark did last start, Nige, but came through to win pretty well and thought the performance was sound. Not the worst here.
I love this horse as a type. I've said it all preparation. He's my type of horse. He's lovely and athletic. It was good to see him break through for a win last start.
15 Night Endeavour strikes soft ground in Australia.
Interesting runner. I think, you know, a couple of runs in have been okay this prep and could be an improver here, third run of the preparation and probably under these conditions as well. We'll yet to see the best out of him. He's obviously had some issues, but let's hope we see that today.
Yeah, he's very relaxed. He's at peak fitness now. He's taken a couple of runs to get there, but he definitely is today.
A winner on heavy, the 16 Silent Sorrente, an Adelaide Cup winner before a ninth in the Roy Higgins.
Yeah, not sure if he's or she's a real wet tracker. She's had 6 runs on soft tracks for 2 placings, but yeah, I mean, look, it's an open race. I think she's under the odds. I wouldn't want to take $12 about her with her overall form.
She's very unassuming, this girl. She just drops ahead, conserves her energy very well. She's been in really good form and in good heart, so she should be running up to the same sort of mark in a very open contest here.
Dean Yendall, 14 years after winning this on Niwot, is on the 17, Basilina.
Yeah, good runs last 2. One at Echuca in the Country Oaks behind Almarise, and Sir Kingsford beat her last start. She's racing well. She's in the game here, I think, at a bit of a price. There's some money, 21 to 17.
She looks very well. She's got such a good deep girth on her, this girl. She's been nice and relaxed, just getting a little bit on her toes now, but not overdoing it. 18
Alma Rise had the better of Basilina and Co on Good Friday in the Country Oaks.
She's still improving, isn't she, this mare by Al Mansour? Just her 11th career start. In 7 of her 10 starts to date, she's run top 2. She's in the game.
Yeah, she certainly is. She's just a really good competitive racehorse, this girl. She looks great. She's a tall, scopy type. Obviously needs to step up significantly in distance here, but she looks very well.
20 Fineo has been top 2 in his previous 5 starts, all of those north of 2,145 metres.
Harder race, but I like him on the back up. I thought it was a terrific win last week, weaving a passage with, you know, a horse that's just really in the zone at the moment. So yeah, it's a tougher order, but as we saw in the previous race over 2,000, you know, under these testing conditions, some are more suited than others, and I think he'll be suited.
He's an absolute beauty, this little bloke. He's at the top of his game. He's really confident at the moment. His coat's fantastic. He's really fit. He's one of the main chances.
21 Tarview beat the Galleywood winner, the Cunning Fox, over 2,460 at Geelong 2-back.
Yeah, she's another one. She's been racing an easier level of racing and benchmark racing, but performing well, and she'll have no issue, I don't think, coming back up in trip. One to consider.
Yeah, she is. I've probably seen her coat a little bit better than what it is today, but it is the time of the year too where they start to turn a little bit. She's very, very fit though.
And 22 Girls can get her toe in again, once again, after running unplaced in the Port Adelaide Cup.
Yeah, she's lightly raced as well, highly consistent. She gets a good run from the barrier, so that might help her cause.
Yeah, she did nothing wrong from a yard point of view. You'd think being by Fiorente out of a Redwood mare, this is the kind of distance that she wants. She's been tried at 2,500 a few times and proven that she gets that, so I wouldn't have thought the little step up's going to be any different here.
Who will join Steel Prince, Ocean X, Realm of Flowers, Point Nepean, Lunar Flare and the Map with a win in the Lexus Andrew Ramsden in May, squaring away a spot on the first Tuesday in November?
Oh, look, I thought it was a tough race. There's so many you can make a case for. I think if you've been a conservative, Smoke and Romans, the Warrnambool Cup win was terrific. Nige, Athabascan's got some class. Denmark, I thought, could run well, but I ended up with Finau on top. Like the backup, just nicely weighted. In the here and now, he's going nicely, and I think gets a good run from the gate. So I went 20 to beat 1-3-14.
Well, if we can land this together, Hutch, I think we deserve a pat on the back because this is tough. This is an absolute raffle, this race. A lot of really nice, good, proven stayers here. I found it very difficult to get through them. Fineo on top for me. I just think he's an absolute beauty, this bloke. He's been racing in really good heart. Has to take the step up to this sort of grade, obviously, but he's been racing really consistently and he tries his little butt off every single start and you can't knock him for that. A couple of other horses that look great in what is a very tough race. Athabaskan looks fantastic. I love Denmark as a type. He's just got such a good athletic horse. Berkshire Breeze is as good as I've seen him, but wow, if you can get this, you're a genius. But I'm with the 20 on top from the yard.
Okay. For your same race multi, and as a matter of fact, it's 9 with the scratching, so placing right up to 9. It's that type of race. It's an absolute ripper to have your same race multi. Be careful what you're gambling with. For free and confidential support, call the 1-800 number or visit the website.
Terrific to see the OTI colours represented in another of our Flemington staying features. Athabaskan will be wearing the blue and yellow for John O'Shea, Tom Charlton and Jade Liss from the stable who joins us. Jade, how's he handled the conditions?
Yeah, he's handled it pretty good. We've been pretty happy with him since his last run at the Cine Cup. So, yeah, all good.
A couple of scratchings make the task for Ben Melham a little bit easier from a whitish draw. Has he had much of a conversation about how he wants to tackle the first part of the race?
Yeah, so he will idly roll forward from that gate and try to find a good position. But, yeah, it's the first part of the race will be the key.
And in regards to the ground today, does that impact sort of the pace of to how Ben will try and tackle things?
No, I think he will handle it. He ran in the soft before and he won on the soft, so I'll be pretty happy with this.
Jade, all the best.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So this will be interesting, and particularly how it will be run. I mean, I looked at it from a form point of view. Wouldn't say there's a lot of pace in it. I mean, normally you say bigger fields, you think, well, there should be sort of genuine pace just through sheer weight of numbers, but gee, I look at this this lineup, and it's interesting early because a couple of those that may have wanted to roll a bit closer or settle handier have drawn wide. Will they risk it today? What was your take on it?
Well, Berkshire Breeze, for example, where's he going to get? You wouldn't have thought, like from barrier 22 that he's drawn on paper. Going to have to make a decision of some sort. You don't want to be way out the back, I wouldn't have thought, but then you do run the risk of having to push forward, try and slot in. There is a big field. They will open up at some point, but you know that there's going to be a fair bit of pressure going down to the straight the first time. They're all going to want to get a decent sort of a spot. Of the others that have drawn wide, Night Endeavour probably doesn't want to get all that far back either. Who else have we got there? Strawberry Rock. Like, there's a lot of them that are going to have to make decisions. Athabaskan obviously is well fancied, and they've just said they're going to go forward-ish. But it's tactics are going to be key, and we're going to need some good rides to guarantee their spot in a Lexus Melbourne Cup.
Will a couple of them be a little bit more patient? I mean, we see in the Derby study, you've got to be quite assertive early. But over the 2800 today, you get a little bit extra time. But the barriers are still important. We see it in the Cup. They start even further down the straight, and the barriers still become important. So hopefully they get their chance. What's on the line? A run in the Melbourne Cup later in the year. Good luck to all the connections. Well through loading. Here's Matt Hill.
Circle. So about 7 to make up their positions here. Berkshire Breeze into favouritism with bookmakers. 20 cents clear of Athabaskan. 5.50 into 4.80 Berkshire Breeze. Athabaskan at $5 on VOP. A bit of light rain around here again, just sweeping across at Flemington. Cross the track. Going into the gates, into the middle alley is Fineo. Virtuous Circle comes along to a wide gate. Athabaskan joining them. And Berkshire Breeze, the two elects in the race, drawn 17 and 18. So a full gate here for the Lexus Andrew Ramsden, 18 of them to go. And the field is set. Stand by for a start, and away they go. Military Mission from barrier number 7 broke away evenly. Elmarise away quite well with Tar View and Girls, Girls, Girls. True Marvel isn't too far away from the action. From out wide, Smoke and Romance is trying to hunt across with the Adelaide Cup winner Silent Sorrente. Berkshire Breeze is midfield from that wide gate. They thunder past the 100 metres on the first round. It's Tar View holding its position on the fence. Girls, Girls, Girls. Silent Sorrente 3 deep, and Smoke and Romance is 4 deep. deep on that first corner. True Marvel 3 wide. Elmer Rises tucked in behind horses, one off the fence outside of Denmark. Then came Through Irish Eyes, Military Mission. Berkshire Breeze is still 4 deep. Athabascan 3 wide. A length Strawberry Rock Lentanius, and further back is Loft 3 wide. Next in the field is Fineo at the 2,000 metres from Basilina Night Endeavour, and Virtuous Circle is last of all. Tarview held the lead. Riverside at the 1,800 metres by 3/4 of a length. Silent Sorrente. Smoke and Romans has caught 3 deep. Girls, Girls, Girls between horses. And fifth along the inside is Denmark. A length away to True Marvel, followed by Elmer Rise in a nice place. 7th one off the fence and 5 off the lead. A length Military Mission Through Irish Eyes. And they were followed next as they reach the 1,400 metres by Glentanius on the inner. Out deeper Berkshire Breeze. A length away Athabascan, who's got the back of Berkshire Breeze from Basilina, Strawberry Rock, Loft. Towards the end of the field, Fineo, and then came Night Endeavour, and Virtuous Circle is last of the 18. So the leader is Tarview, leading out at the 1,200 metres, being tested by Smoke and Romans past halfway, and they're 4 lengths in front of Silent Sorrente. They're ensuring a staying contest here. A length and a half away in fourth, the inside Denmark. Then came the outside as they reached the 1,000 marker. 6 off the front in the race. True Marvel preceded by Girls, Girls, Girls. Then came Elmer Rise. A length away Military Mission. Berkshire Breeze Through Irish Eyes. A length Basilina. Athabascan's always been wide, and about 8 off the lead now, and they were followed by Glentanius. Well back in the field for now. Night Endeavour, Strawberry Rock and Virtuous Circle. They run the corner, 600 to go. Smoke and Romans has been left in front, but it's very vulnerable. True Marvel moves up with also Berkshire Breeze. Berkshire Breeze up the True Marvel at the 400. Basilina's joining in, and Loft on the outside starting to tank into it. Basilina at the 300 metres from Berkshire Breeze. They were followed by Loft and Fineo from a long way back. Basilina 200 metres to go. Still 2 lengths for Fineo. Glentanius finishing well. Basilina's got the wanders. Glentanius trying to wear it back. Basilina 100 to go. Digs out enough though. Basilina a length and a half, and Basilina's got the golden ticket. Basilina wins it. Glentanius second, third for Nao. They were followed by Through Irish Eyes and Loft, who fought out 4. A gap Virtuous Circle, Athabascan, True Marvel. Berkshire Breeze, Military Mission. A gap to Smoke and Romans. Denmark, some tired horses here. Elmer Rise, Strawberry Rock, Silent Sorrente. Night Endeavour, Girls, Girls, Girls. And the last to complete the course after leading was Tarview.
Emily and David Brown's incredible season continues and maybe culminates or reaches a new peak with Basilina giving the stable a Melbourne Cup runner in 2025, all going well with victory in the Lexus Andrew Ramsden. 14 years after Dean Yendel's success in this race on Niwot, who went on to run a creditable top 10 in the Melbourne Cup of that year. She has staved off Glentanius, Fineo. We'll have a photo between Loft and Through Irish Eyes. The hurdlers on a pretty warnable style sort of day are going to fight out 4th place. And it's been the mares in the Andrew Ramsden in recent years. Luna Flare in 2023, the Map last year, and now it's Basilina, who certainly showed some staying wares as a 3-year-old going down an Oaks path, running an incredible race here. It's taken a bit of time for the stable to get her back into fine fettle. It was quite the effort to win first up on William Reid Day at the Cox Plate distance of 2040. She contested an Easter Cup, had excuses. Runner-up to Elmer Rise in the Country Oaks on Good Friday. Runner-up in the Port Adelaide Cup to Sir Kingsford. She comes back to Melbourne, gets herself onto soft ground and finds her place on the first Tuesday in November. 17, 30, 20 and 10. 1 1/4 lengths by 1 1/2 lengths. It's going to be a great chat to the Browns, who've got themselves, Hutch, a runner in the 2025 Lexus Melbourne Cup with Basilina.
Yeah, what a thrill for Emily and David, and also all the ownership group as well. I'll tell you what, I really enjoyed watching that race. It was really well won in the end by Basilina. The pace was pretty solid there, Amy, from a fairway from home, and it was a genuine test. And Basilina was just the strongest at the business end. Far too good in the end.
No, absolutely. And I tell you what, we spoke at the start of the day about the thrill that it is for Connections to have a horse that can qualify for the Melbourne Cup. Well, you're seeing it right now. They are going off their heads, this crew, and so they should. The horse was awesome, and they're going to have a runner in a Melbourne Cup. It doesn't get much better than that, Hutch.
Well, she's a real character, Emily Brown. We're going to hear from a delighted trainer now.
Emily Brown is with us. Victory in the Lexus Andrew Ramsden with Basilina, and singing and dancing in the rain for everybody connected. How are you?
Oh, a little bit overwhelmed actually. The horse, it means a lot to me, and I just can't believe she did it. When the rain came, we were pretty confident, but I thought, oh, she's a proper princess. It might be too much rain. God, she just did it so well. Dean, that's the second time he's given her an absolute peach of a ride. Can't thank him enough. And just to think, now I just have to wrap her in cotton wool, and we're back here in November, and it's a massive thing for our whole stable. We've got a tiny stable, and I can't believe it.
Emily, is much of that attachment and emotion the fact that she was maybe the filly that helped you and David plant your flag in the ground here in Australia?
100%. David actually bought her mum for me after I lost my good jumper, because she's by Shinko King, her mum. And I laughed and I said, oh, you can't replace him. And I think he's done a pretty good job. But no, we bred her, and yeah, just absolutely amazing. Credit to our team, credit to Lucy, who is actually on holiday at the moment, but she'll be cheering from New Zealand. But yeah, a massive credit to our team. I can't believe it.
What did you see in the run that gave you confidence?
Right from the start, I thought, oh, she's handling this track great. I think I'll be the only one wanting rain in November. But yeah, she does. No, it's a little overwhelming actually. We've had a great season, but this has really topped it off.
Yeah, the family affair's been apparent for everyone through the showdown and some of those other victories. What's it going to be like for the family to come together and then consider the task ahead?
Oh, no, it'll be a bit of fun, a little bit of pressure. It's nothing like working for family. But no, it's very, very exciting.
Emily, congratulations. I think everybody in racing almost feels like we're on the journey with you and David, and that journey's going to be fun over the next 6 months.
Oh, I can't believe it. No, thank you.
To Dean Yendall, victorious in the Andrew Ramsden for the second time, but the first time that he helps a horse find its way into a Melbourne Cup. You look over there and you see the hugs between Emily and David. This must give you some sort of buzz to give them one of the biggest thrills they've had in the sport.
Well, I've just started riding for Emily and David this time round. They seem a lovely family and great to ride for. So look, to get this horse into a big race is a great thrill for them, and also for myself to secure another ride if it's there. And she'd been knocking on the door for a while, this little mare. You know, she's been putting the riding on the wall for some nice runs. Found some hard races there, probably unsuitable tracks for her, but just relishes the soft ground. So, look, she had a great run in transit from the wide barrier, just went back to the fence, followed the field, just niggled out when I needed to come out, and found the line really easily.
Did you have a sense that the tempo was sufficient, that things would break up a bit?
I didn't, but I thought it was just an even tempo. But in the back of my mind was a lot of horses aren't going to handle the going, and that's what took its toll, I reckon.
Was there a case of wanting to hunt wide and find some slightly better ground rather than sticking and saving some ground?
No, look, I just rode it for her. You know, I didn't want to overcomplicate it for myself. Just get out the clear ground when I needed to. You know, and give it clear running, and the rest was history. Even
though there wasn't direct qualification at the time, you won this with Niwat some 14 years ago, and he ran top 10 in a Melbourne Cup. Do you feel like this girl can do same?
Yeah, the only thing there was it wasn't. I don't think it was an actual exempt race, and I had to win the Lexus on him the 2 days prior to get him actually into the Cup. So obviously they changed the conditions, so less work for the guys to worry about having her over the top and having her prime for the big day.
Hopefully that's your Cup ride squared away for 25. Dean, well done.
That'd be great. Thanks, guys.